start of the Dawn Age, around 40,000 years before the Gods' War took place, 5 creator races appeared in Malnova. They were the Pedraki, the Aerie, the Saruk, the Fae, and humans. The Pedraki were a humanoid race of amphibians. Their descendants are different races such as merfolk, bullywogs, and Kuatoa. Aerie were airborne bird-like humanoids and were the ancestors of races such as the Aarakocra and Kenku. The Saruk were an inherently evil serpentine race. They are accredited with creating various different races in their image, such as the Yuanti, Nagas, and Medusas, along with other races we will touch on later. The Fae were a race which mimicked nature. They only spent a few centuries in Malnova before finding their way to the Feywild and remaining there. Humans were mainly Neanderthals, living in mountain caves and the jungle in the south of Malnova. They did not play a role in the history of the Dawn Age. The Pedraki mainly took up roots in the north of what is now called Trader Sea. The Aerie found their homes in the mountaintops of Gnarltooth mountain range. The Saruk took up residence in the middle of these two territories, from the frozen tundras to the north, all the way to the south of the Saltran Mountains. The Saruk were the first to master the weave and the arcane arts along with it. However, as they were still a very tribal and fractured race, they were not able to use it to conquer. That was until the warlord sorcerer Hashka began to unite the tribes by defeating the leaders of each Saruk tribe in one-on-one combat. Once he had united the Saruk, Hashka brought together the greatest of their mages and had them create the Normal Crown. The crown was said to give the powers of past, present, and future sight, as well as eternal life. With this crown, Hashka had tapped into untold arcane knowledge. He began to create the races that would aid him in his goal of conquering all of Malnova. He created many new races. Some were modeled after the Saruk, some were not. The greatest of these, his war machines, the Giants. One battle after another, he began to conquer more and more of Malnova, enslaving all other races. He had almost conquered all of Malnova when a group of Aerie created their own war machines to combat this. These were small in stature, but they took to the skies in the millions. They were the Aarakocra, and they had learned to tap into their own weave, known as Ki. The Aarakocra were a fierce fighting force and led many other races in a revolt against the Saruk, until Hashka was surrounded. However, Hashka, with the power of the Normal Crown, had seen this in his future, and had put his soul into several magical items. Hashka then began to cast a spell more powerful than had ever been cast. For 7 days, meteors began to strike the northern part of Malnova, killing Aarakocra, Aerie, Yuanti, Giants, and Saruk alike. On the 7th day, the final and greatest of the meteors hit Malnova, killing the remainder of all creatures in the north. The only survivors were some smaller giants, which were able to find cover in caves in the Gnarltooth Mountains, and anyone in the south. The largest meteor blasted a hole in Malnova, which is now called the Mouth of Darkness, which remains to this day. The meteors remained lodged in the ground. The north skies were covered in a cloud of dust for 1,000 years. At the end of the 1,000 years, when the sun began to shine through the clouds, the meteors began to crack, much like an egg would, and from those meteors crawled the first dragons. The largest crawled from the Mouth of Darkness, his name, Traxeldon, the Great Worm. And so began the Age of Wyrm Wrath. Hey guys, thanks for watching Lore Sessions with Malnova Chronicles. If you have any recommendations on what kind of lore you'd like to see next from our campaign, let me know in the comments section. I'll take it into consideration and hopefully make a video for you pretty quick. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button there so you're updated when I make new lore videos and upload them. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Don't be an asshole.